Hey, okay, so like literally 15 minutes ago, I just finished reading Goodnight Punpun, and man, it's got me in a funk. My day has been ruined. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. It's really hard to explain. Okay, so if you've never heard of it, this is Goodnight Punpun by Inio Asano. In English, there's about 7 volumes here. Okay, so Goodnight Punpun is it's a human drama. Okay, it's really hard to explain, and it's really unique. I've never read anything like this before. So it's about this kid named Punpun, right? And the whole story follows his life from when he's like in elementary school all the way up until when he's in his 20s. Nothing ever good happens to this guy. So first off, I wouldn't recommend reading this if you're under the age of 18. It's heavy. It's real heavy. There's lots of heavy and dark themes in it. It can get pretty sexual at times, not in the ecchi fan service kind of way. It feels very serious and real and dark. I'm probably gonna be using the word dark a lot. The story has lots of themes of growing up and depression and mental health and suicide. So when I say it gets heavy, I mean like it gets heavy. So in my opinion, the story kind of has like 3 stages, each lasting about 2 or so volumes. The first stage is his childhood. He's still kind of figuring out how the world works. I think the author pretty much nailed like how the mind of a child works. You know, it's just kind of out there. It's doesn't really understand a lot. This is kind of like Punpun's backstory. I should mention too, the author wanted to make the character really relatable. So the main character Punpun is drawn like this bird guy. Punpun and his immediate family are drawn like these bird people. Also, you never see Punpun say anything. You see his family members talk, but you don't actually see him say anything. So he looks like this bird guy, but it's metaphorical. He's not actually this bird guy. He's like an actual person, and sometimes there's like close-up of his hands and they're drawn like real hands. So it reminds you like, okay, he's not actually a bird. He's a real human. So I'd say there's 3 parts of the story. Part 1 is where he's a child. Then the second part of the story is when he's a teenager and he's in high school. I'd say this is the time when he starts battling depression, and I think he realizes that he's depressed. And then the third part is when he's an adult, and I think he realizes that, wow, I'm still depressed, and he's got to deal with that. And might I add, he doesn't deal with it very well. So this morning, when I decided I would read some manga today, I was about halfway through volume 3, and I just read the rest of it. That's what I spent my day doing. I just read the rest of Goodnight Punpun. I read the whole thing today. It's funny because it put me in such a mood. Like, okay, I'm not a depressed individual, but man, I sure felt like it reading this. I don't even know how to describe it. I just felt so bad and groggy all day. Maybe I'm getting sick. Maybe it's because I read Goodnight Punpun. Now that the story's finished, I don't feel so bad. So a few things I really like about the series. The art is amazing. There's lots of these 2-page panels, and man, it just makes you stop and just like look at the artwork, because it's so well done. The artwork is very detailed and it just looks gorgeous. The characters in the story felt really real. You know, they're just kind of going through life and they all have their own perspectives on it. They've all got their own issues that they're dealing with. You really feel invested in the characters, especially Punpun. I mean, you're really rooting for him the whole time, but things just aren't going his way. There's lots of moments that were super shocking and impactful, and you're like, okay, yeah, that just happened. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, like, if you've read it, you know that this series is messed up, like big time. So should you read Goodnight Punpun? Yes. If you think that you can handle it, then yes, it's very good. It's really good. It's a masterpiece, really. I think you kind of have to be in a mood to read it. If you're depressed, don't read this series. There's a good chance it'll put you in like a deeper state of depression. I think if we can learn something from Goodnight Punpun, it's that mental health is no joke. Listen, if you got problems, get help. Don't be like Punpun. Punpun wasn't able to beat his depression. It just kind of got worse and worse until finally it just became part of who he was, and he like accepted that. Don't do that. Get some help. Get better. Life is great, and so isn't Goodnight Punpun. It was a great series. I really enjoyed it. So actually, the only reason why I was able to actually finish this series is because I just got 5 and 6 in the mail. During the month of June, I collected a lot of manga, over 100 volumes. If you want to see everything I got, and possibly something that I'm going to review next, be sure to check out my manga haul for June of 2020. Wait a minute. Did I say June? It was July. What am I saying? Punpun's got me in a funk, dude. Click here to see that manga haul. There's a lot of stuff in there. If you like this review and you want to see more videos like this, I upload videos on on every Monday and Friday, so be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button if you want to get notified every time I upload a video. Have any of you guys read Goodnight Punpun before? Let me know what you think in the comments. Were you put into like a funk all day when you read this? I'm glad I read most of it in one day, because now I don't have to be depressed like for 7 days. I can just be depressed on one day. You know what I mean? Let me know what you thought in the comments. All right, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.